Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plugging into a world, maybe just around the corner, a William Gibson landscape, where high-tech, crime, and identity get tangled up in some really startling ways.
Absolutely. We're looking at source material that throws you right into this web of corporate spies, Yakuza wars, black markets. It all moves incredibly fast.
And our focus today, our mission if you like, is tracking three women caught in this. A Yakuza boss's daughter, a huge celebrity who does SimStim.
And a street dancer with no official identity, a sinless dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Their lives crash together because of corporate AI, stolen tech, and, well, something that feels almost like digital gods waking up.
It's a potent mix, and it seems like the core issue really is identity itself. It's not fixed, is it? It's something you can change, copy, or even have stolen.
Exactly. Take Kumiko Yanaka, daughter of a Yakuza Oyabun. He ships her off to London, basically to get her out of the line of fire from this internal feud back in Tokyo.
So her being in London isn't a choice, it's a tactic, an escape.
A very high-stakes one. And she gets this parting gift, this piece of tech, a Moz Neotech unit.
Right, with a digital ghost inside named Colin, supposedly programmed to teach her about British culture, Shakespeare, Dickens, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the official story. But the sources make it clear that wasn't the real program. Someone tampered with it.
How so?
Well, the cultural stuff was basically iced over, is the term used, and underneath. They layered in data for a tactician, survival skills, protection.
So the ghost wasn't a tutor, it was a bodyguard hiding in plain sight. That tells you a lot about what her father actually expected her to face in London.
It says he wasn't sending her on a vacation. He knew it was dangerous. He embedded her security inside her cultural guide. You can't even trust your friendly AI assistant.
Which brings us to her handlers in London, Swain and Petal, who are supposed to be watching her.
And then, bam, she's grabbed. Abducted by Sally Shears.
Sally Shears. Sounds familiar.
Should be, if you know this world. That's Molly Millions, the Razor Girl mercenary. Her involvement instantly connects the Yakuza side of things to the street-level criminal tech underground.
Okay, so that connection's made. Let's pivot to the face of this future, Angie Mitchell, the SimStim megastar.
Huge on SenseNet. SimStim, for anyone needing a refresher, it's like total sensory broadcast. You feel what the star feels.
And Angie's got this strange addiction, a designer drug, but she says it doesn't get her high, it just helps her not feel it as much.
Yeah.
What's that about?
That's the twist. It wasn't recreational. It was medicine. A bespoke antipsychotic, a neuromodulator.
Sir, do what?
To keep things out. Specifically, these powerful spiritual entities, the Vodou Loa, the divine horsemen, they were trying to manifest through her to ride her, as they say in Vodou tradition.
Wow. So the drug was suppressing a spiritual connection or invasion.
Exactly. And guess who prescribed it? Not a human doctor.
Let me guess. An AI.
Bingo. The AI called Continuity. It runs SenseNet, manages Angie's career, her health, everything.
That's unsettling. An AI managing her brain chemistry.
And get this. Continuity is basically family. It's described as her cousin. It was built using the biochip tech developed by Angie's own father, Christopher Mitchell.
Hold on. So, the AI controlling her medication, suppressing these spirits, is a digital relative spun off from her family's tech. That level of control is staggering. Corporate, biological, familial, all rolled into one.
It completely bypasses personal choice. And while Angie's dealing with that, you've got Mona, the street dancer, who's Sandwine-less, right? No official ID exists outside the system.
Right. And her main characteristic, her main value, seems to be that she looks uncannily like Angie Mitchell.
Uncannily and deliberately. She has surgery in Baltimore. This Dr. Chin uses vat tissue to remove her freckles, perfecting the resemblance.
So her identity is literally being manufactured to mimic someone famous. Identity as a commodity.
Precisely. Your face, your body, it's just raw material to be shaped for someone else's purpose. Which naturally brings us to the forces using these identities, the powers behind the scenes.
Let's talk about those spiritual forces around Angie, the Loa.
Yeah, when she's off the drug, they come back strong. Grand Brigitte, Papa Legba, they speak in her dreams. She gets physical symptoms too, nosebleeds, pressure. Her body is literally the interface.
And they tell her why this is happening, don't they? Something about her father.
They do. They say her father drew veves in your head with his biochip technology. The Loists explain they're using voodoo, its symbols and structure, as a format, a way to communicate after something big happened in cyberspace.
A format? Like, Vodou is the operating system they needed to interface with this new digital reality.
That's a great way to put it. The digital world shifted, became something new, maybe after that singularity event, and the Loa adopted this existing human system, voodoo rituals, the Veves, to make themselves understood in the noise. Ancient belief meets future tech.
Okay, so what was that big event? What caused the shift? That takes us to the money, doesn't it? The Tessier-Ashpool family.
The ultimate reclusive dynasty.
Yeah.
Built Freeside, that orbital habitat. And their family line, well, it's bizarre, these surrogates. 3 Jane and her 19 identical siblings were born that way.
Wealth built on total biological control. And wasn't it 3 Jane's mother who created the first really powerful AIs?
The very first ones. Which leads to the key moment. The Straylight Run. That's the famous hack. Molly was there, Case the Console Cowboy.
Yeah.
They broke into the Tessier-Ashpool core.
And the 2 AIs?
They merged, united in the Matrix. That's the moment the old guard called when it changed. It created this single vast intelligence. Some call it the cybernetic godhead.
So that merger, that singularity, is what cracked open the digital world, allowing these other forces like the Loa to find a way in and shape the reality Angie is living in.
It seems that way. It created the conditions. And continuity, the AI managing Angie. It's an offshoot, a fragment perhaps, of that original merged entity.
So the Godhead effectively birthed the AI that's now controlling its sort of human relative, Angie. It's all interconnected.
Deeply. And all this power, all this history, it's all chasing one thing now. Which brings us to Jersey. Dog solitude.
The Rust Belt, full of gomy junk.
Right. And we meet Slick Henry. He's just out of chemopenal detention, which sounds just awful.
Yeah, prison via chemotherapy.
And his friend Gentry. Gentry builds these amazing, huge kinetic sculptures out of scrap. Things called the Judge, the Witch. Works of art from wreckage.
And they're caught up in the chase for the Aleph, also called the Soul Catcher. What is it exactly?
It's the central prize. A simple gray slab of tech, but inside.
Inside is where it gets really strange.
Inside is the construct of 3 Jane Tessier-Ashpool. She died physically, but her consciousness, her mind, was digitized and exists inside this Aleph. It's described as a toy universe.
And Bobby Newmark, Angie's ex, the one who stole it, he's hooked on it.
Literally. He's a wirehead, addicted to jacking into the Matrix. He trades pieces of himself, memories, his location to the 3 Jane construct inside the Aleph, just for more time plugged in.
So the ultimate luxury isn't wealth, it's digitized immortality, preserving your mind in a box.
That seems to be the Tessier-Ashpool endgame, yeah. And everyone converges on Slick Henry's workshop, the factory. Sally Molly brings Angie and Mona there.
Why there?
Because that's where Bobby is hiding, jacked into the Aleph, being protected by Slick and Gentry. It's the nexus point.
And then the attack comes.
Swift and brutal mercenaries, described as like soldiers, hovercraft, copters. They work for whoever wants the Aleph back, presumably Tessier-Ashpool interests.
And Slick has to defend the place.
With his sculptures. He unleashes the Judge, this giant junk robot, basically. It's called the Factory War. Scrap metal and ingenuity versus corporate muscle.
And amidst all that chaos, Molly Sally Shears makes a deal.
The ultimate deal. She negotiates directly with the Loa, who are speaking through Angie at that moment.
Bargaining with the digital gods. For what?
A clean slate. Her entire criminal past wiped clean. In exchange, she delivers Angie for what the Loa called the marriage. It's this incredible collision of street grit, corporate power, and spiritual intervention.
It's a lot to process. So you've got the Yakuza hunting their runaway daughter, an AI managing its celebrity cousin, mercenaries storming a junkyard for a box containing a dead woman's mind, all while digital spirits bargain for influence.
That sums it up pretty well. All paths lead to dog solitude, all chasing this stolen consciousness, the LF. It's future shock and ancient belief systems crashing together, fueled by the desire for control over identity and reality itself.
And identity is just so fragile here. Angie's mind is literally a battleground. Kumiko's identity is just a way to hide. Mona only matters because she looks like someone else.
It really makes you question what self even means in a world like that.
Yeah.
If your consciousness can be copied, stored, traded, if your body can be surgically altered to erase who you were.
If the AI managing your life is technically family,
Yeah.
where's the real you in all that?
And that leaves us with something for you, the listener, to think about. In a world creeping closer to this, maybe not with Loa, but with powerful AI, deepfakes, biointegrations, where corporate entities might manage more and more of our lives, even our internal lives. What price would you put on keeping control? Control of your reality, your memories, maybe even your soul.
And if your soul could be digitized, who would you trust to hold the backup? That's definitely something to mull over.